You know, we talked the other day about the fact that James Gunn, while doing an interview, talking about the upcoming Batman, he mentioned that he had just had a conversation with an extremely big, well-known actor who wants to play Batman. And we talked about some theories about who that one big actor would be, but James Gunn has now kind of doubled down on that. In another interview he was doing, he started talking about it and basically saying kind of everybody's been calling him, wanting to play Batman. This is what it says. It says, yeah, I mean, the actor, this is James Gunn talking, the actor who wants to listen. First of all, I can't tell you the amount of big actors who've told me they want to be Batman. Gunn continued, I think you'd have a harder time finding actors who don't want to be Batman. He's the one character everyone wants to play. That's the truth. All right. So this kind of expands out then on that one comment he made the other day about, you know, he just had one particular conversation with a very well-known high-profile actor that wants to be Batman. And he was kind of alluding to the fact that, like, I'm not going to necessarily just cast a big name. Like, it very well could be an unknown actor like David Cornsweet. David Cornsweet, who has been around, but he was not a household name. Then he might go in that direction. Could be a big name actor, might not be, whatever, we'll see. But I find it interesting that he's now saying, and he's saying straight up, this is the truth. You would have a harder time finding people who haven't called me wanting to be Batman. Everybody's agents are calling James Gunn and trying to line up their guy to play Batman. And listen, on the one hand, you might think, well, yeah, it's Batman. Who doesn't want to be Batman? But at the same time, I'm a little surprised by this because I would think there would be a lot of people who wouldn't want to play Batman. Because while, yeah, if you kill it, you're the next Christian Bale. But at the same time, there's the other side of that coin. If it doesn't go over well, listen, man, Batman nearly broke Ben Affleck. I mean, we've heard him tell stories now about like that, not just the behind the scenes drama, but also, you know, the audience reaction to it and all that kind of stuff. And I thought Ben Affleck was a great Batman, for the record. I thought he was a great Batman. You can think whatever you thought about the movies as a whole. Ben Affleck did a very good job, I thought. But that nearly broke him. You do Batman and Batman doesn't go over well. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that has the potential to be a career killer. You're the guy who comes out and ruins Batman? I mean, no guts, no glory, swing big, I guess. But it seems like that's not deterring anybody, Rob, because according to Gunn, he's saying everybody's lining up. Like, we're getting calls from everybody who wants to play Batman, and they don't even have a completed script yet. Guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Zapier. You know, one of the biggest game changers of the past year has been AI. But let's be real, just talking about AI doesn't actually make your day any more productive. What does make it more productive is finding tools to put AI to work for you. And that's where Zapier comes in. Zapier is the easiest way to take AI and plug it directly into the apps and processes that you're already using every day. No IT bottlenecks, no complexity, just results. For me, it's been about saving time on repetitive stuff so I can focus on the work that matters and I actually enjoy. And it's not just me. Over 3.4 million companies are already using Zapier to streamline everything from sales and marketing to IT and HR. With their AI orchestration platform, you can connect top AI models like ChatGPT or Claude right into the apps you already use. So whether it's automatically enriching leads, coaching your sales team, or even resolving IT tickets, Zapier makes it simple. Guys, join the 3.4 million companies already automating with Zapier and transform how you work with Zapier and AI. Get started for free by visiting zapier.com/Campea. That's zapier.com/Campea. So anyway, Rob, you heard James Gunn's comments. Does this surprise you? Does it not surprise you? What do you take away from this?
Well, we always say actor wants part, but in this case, look, Batman is always going to be eternally cool to play. And I think that it makes sense that any actor would want to play Batman. I mean, remember, Tim Burton established that you don't even have to be the actor everyone thinks of as Batman in the first place to play Batman.
Mr. Mom to play Batman.
Yeah, and you can get Mr. Mom to play Batman. And what happens? I mean, you and I are both Flash lovers. I loved seeing Michael Keaton come back playing Batman in The Flash. I thought it was great, to the point where I own that Hot Toy figure. Thank you very much. So
why'd you turn into Elvis?
Excuse me. So I think it's a great notion that any actor's up for it. It gives James Gunn a wide variety of people to choose from. I mean, obviously Batman needs to have the physicality. So I think that's great. But I think that we need the right Batman for the right universe. And James Gunn is establishing, we need to see a Batman who's different than Ben Affleck, different than Christian Bale, different than Val Kilmer, different than George Clooney, and different than Michael Keaton. We need this Batman is going to be a new take. I don't know what that take is. I mean, I can guess, but it's going to be a take that we haven't seen before. So what I want is the best actor for this particular Batman, whichever that Batman's going to be. I would imagine there's going to be more humor, more satire, more, just more.
Well, remember, Gunn did specifically say about this Batman, I don't want a Batman who's cracking jokes.
No,
right?
That's not what I mean.
Remember,
I don't think there's going to be a Batman. I don't think he's going to be wisecracking, but I think like the Batman that was portrayed in, again, the mid-'80s Justice League, which I think James Gunn has taken a lot of his universe from, that Batman who took Green Lantern out with one punch. Yeah. That's the Batman I want to see.
By the way, I just want to throw this out there. Somebody in the live chat, and I get where they're coming from. Somebody in the live chat said, no one's going to have their career ended because of Batman. Look, George Clooney did a hated Batman. He was fine. Okay, George Clooney is one of the few bulletproof celebrities. And even at the time when he did Batman, he was already George Clooney. And don't think that didn't hurt his career.
Right.
It did, but he was already so big, so established, so well-known. He was practically bulletproof. Let me throw a name at you. Alden Ehrenreich. Alden Ehrenreich was this up-and-coming actor who landed the role of Han Solo. And I thought he did really good.
I did too.
But the movie kind of flopped. I thought the movie was quite good, but a lot of people didn't like it. That's fine. And that, for a guy who was not in the position of a George Clooney, that derailed even for a while. His career, he popped up in a few things. Disney just threw him a bone by putting him in Ironheart because same company and everything. But I mean, I would submit that I think Alden Ehrenreich today should be a much bigger star because I think he's just that talented.
I totally agree with you.
And so I'm sorry, but you get somebody in a position like an Alden Ehrenreich was, or somebody in a position like a David Cornsweet, actors who are already there, already have some credits, and are ready to break through. You put them in a movie that totally doesn't work, you're looking at the next Alden Ehrenreich, which is unfortunate. Again, and I think he's still young enough and still early enough in his career that I think he can still recover. But he is now years behind where I think he should have been because he tried to play this iconic role and the film didn't work. I think if you get somebody in the same position to try to play Batman, that if that Batman thing flops with people, that could really hurt an actor's career. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think you're absolutely right. And by the way, I think what they did to Solo was a mistake. And it was proven by the fact that it was sort of rejected by the establishment, because I would imagine that they made that movie more earnest than it was, because it said that the Lord Miller were going off book and they were doing jokes and a lot of improv. I want to see that version of Solo. I think their version of Solo actually, ironically, and I say this having seen nothing, I don't know anything, but I think that's what Solo needed. I think an early version of Solo should have been as far away from the Harrison Ford version. And what we ended up getting was, I like Solo, but I felt it was a movie that had no edge about a character that does have one. And it was very odd to me because I'm watching, I'm like, I like this, but there was no.
You know what? I'm not going to say from who. I heard that project was a mess. I heard what Lord Miller, and I'm a huge Lord Miller. Everybody knows I'm a massive Lord Miller fan, but I heard that was actually a disaster. I heard it was not coming together.
Well, that could be.
But again,
I'd still like to see it though.
Well, I
it
mean,
would have been interesting to see.
yeah, there was reports that the writer himself was like, "Save me from these."
Lawrence Kasdan.
Yeah.
Kasdan was complaining and straight up saying like they have to be removed.
Well, the big problem, again, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but of course, the big problem with that was Lord and Miller agreed to make a certain movie, and then they
right.
kind of went behind everybody's back and were making a completely different movie that was not agreed to.
Yeah, that's not good.
And that's not good. Even if you're some of my favorites like Lord and Miller, that's not good. But at any rate, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? James Gunn is saying, listen, it's basically who's not asking me right now to play Batman. Are you surprised by that? Maybe you're not surprised by it. Do you still have some lists in your head about who you think it could end up being? A lot of names like Jake Gyllenhaal are being thrown around. I've always liked Jake Gyllenhaal for Batman, but maybe he's too old now. I don't know. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.